Okay, so recently I was watching this video. This was a premiere done on October 9th, 2024. I audited First Amendment Auditors by Douglas Calagian. I'm not sure the pronunciation, but this guy did this kind of neutral look at auditors and um, the auditing community, the frauditing community. I'm probably saying that wrong, but the community that basically calls out the auditors. And I think he did a pretty good video. You should definitely check it out. Give him a like, subscribe if you like his content. But I definitely liked the video. I think it was a pretty fair look. Now, this was a 30-minute video, and I was there for the whole live. And in the comments, I don't know why the closed captions turned on, but in the comments, there was a pretty good mix of people, but there's a lot of people that called out the auditors. Now, one of these individuals is a guy by the name of Marc Stout, and I guess he used to be an auditor himself, and then he turned to the other side of the coin, calling out the auditors or frauditors, as they say. I want to take a look at this guy because he was making some claims that a lot of the auditors were all criminals. And usually, when someone's shouting that someone's a criminal, well, they might have a past themselves. So I'll redact his address here, but it looks like that he's the plaintiff in a lawsuit for, well, it says here $12 million. The plaintiff, Marc Joseph Stout, is a person residing at, and it gives the address, against the defendant, Sean Paul Reyes, and it gives his address. So you can read about that on Reddit or wherever. It's not really what this video is about, but I wanted to find this because this gives me the address, so this allows me to find the correct person, because obviously I don't want to be doing a video and doing it on the wrong individual. So with that and having the address and having the full name, I went over to True People Search and I found him. This is Marc J. Stout, and obviously I'm going to take out a lot of the information here, but Marc J. Stout, we got a DOB of February 1985, age 39. Now, the address was Haynesville doesn't appear to be the correct one, or at least the one that was on the lawsuit. It might be the correct one, but on the lawsuit was this address in Fredericksburg, and that matches this person. So I'm assuming that we have the correct individual, especially looking at the guy's YouTube channel and picture. I assume that he's 39 years old. Everything in here is just an assumption. I'm not saying it's 100% him, but this is why I like to show this evidence beforehand. You can kind of follow along and make up your own judgment. But for the record, I'm not saying that any of this is correct. I'm not saying it's him. I'm just doing the research. You're following along. You judge for yourself. And here's Marc's channel, Frauditors Exposed, and he actually posted about the premiere here. I was interviewed for a documentary about frauditors that is premiering on October 9th, 2024. Here is a link to the video. Join me as we watch it together. Thank you, Frauditor Troll, for recommending my channel to the documentarian. Documentarian. And thank you to Douglas Callaghan for the interview. It was a nice comment. Like I said, I think Douglas did a good job at looking at both sides of the coin there. But it struck me as a little weird because he was calling them criminals. And from what I hear, he used to be, I don't know if someone said, I don't know the truth to it. I didn't see these things, but he used to be someone that was a fairly aggressive auditor himself. And again, I have no proof of that. That's just what was told to me, so take it with a grain of salt. He also used to have something that was like a channel, legalized drugs or something like that. And I did see a little bit of an interview between him and Kate Peter of Masshole or Mass Troll. Is it Masshole or Mass Troll? But Kate Peter and Merb, who's an attorney. And I didn't see the whole thing because it was fairly long, but it's definitely worth checking out. Now, I went over to Virginia courts to take a look. Now, Virginia FOIA is horrible. You have to actually be a resident in Virginia or have someone do it that's a resident to do a FOIA request. And I could do that down the line if people were interested, but I wanted to see what I could find. So, quick interruption here before we continue. I just want to give a shout out to my patrons. I haven't shouted you guys out in a while, and it really means the world to me that you guys come in and donate. I mean, everyone that likes the video, subscribes, and comments, I appreciate all of you. But you guys, you've been patrons for a while. Some of you are brand new. And I really, really appreciate it. It really means a lot to me. So thank you for that. So I did a search for Marc Joseph Stout. And we do have the date of birth, February 1985. And we have all these things that say Marc Joseph Stout. I didn't find another Marc Joseph Stout in the area, so I'm assuming this is him. But again, another disclaimer, this is just my assumption based on the evidence. You've seen everything I've done here, so you can make up your own mind. But there's a lot of crimes here, and it goes back to 2007. It looks like, just with Virginia. I don't know if he's lived other places as well, but 2007, we have 2010 here, and we have 2019. So let's look at this one: remove alteration of a firearm. So I'm gonna click here, and I will go ahead and let's see, is there any private information here? The address is redacted. We have a partial date of birth, so the 221. And yeah, it looks like this is okay. So Marc Joseph Stout, and yeah, this is a 2006 crime. It says remove or alteration of a firearm. I'm assuming that's the serial number, but I don't know, and it says misdemeanor. And here is, it looks like there's a bench warrant in 2007 and motion pretrial. Unfortunately, with Virginia, we just don't get a lot. And that, like, look, that's all we get right there. It says it was resolved, so I don't know what that was, but what's that? Guilty concluded by. So I think that's. Let me just Google that and make sure. I mean, I'm not a lawyer myself, obviously. Okay, so Latin phrase which directly translates to not wish to prosecute, a legal notice or entry of record that the prosecutor or plaintiff has decided not or to abandon the prosecution lawsuit. So not a lawsuit, but it looks like they didn't go forward with it for whatever reason. Like I said, Virginia does not give a lot. Now, one thing you don't have to be, I believe, when it comes to Virginia is a resident when it comes to actually requesting the documents from the court. So I could request this from the court and get more and find out more about it. Let's check out some of the other cases here. This is carry. This was actually on the same date. Carry concealed weapon. Now we have, let's see, Marc Joseph Stout. We have the same date of birth, and let's see what this says resolved, and it doesn't say how. Oh no, same thing, right here. So it looks like there's without prosecution. Let's check out another one. This is 3 months later, possession of firearm by a felon. So same information, everything matches up. Okay, so on this one we have a guilty plea. So the other ones, maybe they just let that go and gave him a warning or something. I don't know. This is just my opinion based on what I'm seeing. I don't have the records. I only have, well, exactly what you see here. So that was a guilty plea. I don't see anything when it comes to sentence time or anything like that. So I'm assuming there was sentencing because it says sentencing right here. But there's nothing else. So we'd have to request that from the court. I'm not going to go through every single one, but let's look at some of the more recent ones. This was a probation violation. I'm sure it's not going to actually tell us what it's for, but this is a probation violation. So let's look at this. Fredericksburg, Virginia, we have that, but not a whole address, which means I don't have to redact anything, which is good. We have date of birth matches, sex male, race white, and Marc Joseph Stout. What else? Yeah, of course, it doesn't say any details. Someone initially said that they thought he was in Florida, which would have been great because Florida is very, very giving, like the polar opposite to Virginia when it comes to records. Well, actually, maybe the polar opposite would be California, but Virginia is right up there. So it's definitely on the other side of the coin when it comes to records. Florida is wonderful, whether it's a FOIA or it's a case search or anything like that. So we have some cocaine stuff here too. This is 2019. Mixed with a firearm. That's not good. Probation violation 119. Possession with intent to manufacture Schedule 1, Schedule 2 drug 2010. Probation violation 2019. Another, yeah, the drug charge 96 2019. Possession with intent to distribute, maybe, or no, dispense. I don't know what that is. But something cocaine. And that is, let's see what that is, actually. I always got to Google these things, or ChatGPT, but in this case, Google. Possession with an intent to distribute. Okay, so it's what I thought it was. It's just that it has a DISP, and there's no P in distribute. So anyway, yeah, I don't think we have to go through every single one. You can repeat this step if you want. It's, well, I'll put the link in the description for you for Virginia case search and just make it easy for you. But yeah, so is there more? It says scroll forward. I don't know if there's more there. There's distribution of a controlled substance, 2007, and then there's other Joseph Stouts here. That's not this guy, but yeah, like I said, it was interesting to me. I don't have any hate towards this guy. Like, I don't know this guy at all. Maybe he's a great guy. Maybe he's reformed in the past 5 years. Maybe not. You know, I don't know. I don't know him from a hole in the wall. I just know that he was saying that these guys were criminals, and he was saying that apparently a lot. So, like I said, when someone has a lot to say about other people being criminals, then usually they are. Of course, I say that as I'm sitting here talking about it, but if you look me up, I'm not a criminal, nor have I been. But still, usually there's something to be said there. So I'm not going to put a lot of editing in this video. If you're with me so far, I appreciate it. Hit that like button for me, subscribe. I'll have more content on the way. Now, if you want me to cover more of these frauditor guys, or frauditor trolls, or I should probably have done research and find out what they're actually called, but I'm happy to look into more of them. If you want me to look into auditors, I'm happy to, or as the other side says, frauditors, but I'll go with auditors. So if you want me to look into some of those people, I'd be happy to do that too. It's like I want to be neutral in all this. I want to kind of call things out as I see it. But yeah, let me know in the comments. I'll see you guys on the next one.